Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I see red in the marketplace. I see Bitcoin down 5% on the daily. That red candle is nasty. Look at that, like from $60,000 plus all the way down 558.2. We're bouncing, but that's a big candle. There's some buy pressure that came up into that one volume, but man, that's ugly. That's an ugly candle. That's an ugly day. 24 hours, 5%. And meanwhile, you know, some of our favorites, SPS taking a beating. SPS down to 6.5 cents. No, my bad. I wish it was 6.5 cents. 6.6 of a penny per SPS. Look at this red, and always historically red has been that moment where opportunity is recognized. Now, is it going to go lower tomorrow? I don't know, but man, at some point, like this is a buy signal in my mind. Maybe not in your mind, but to me, with SPS, with Bitcoin, with XRP, like 45 cents. And there's different ways that could be creative. That could happen. I could make that happen. And I go, what would it take? What would be a line in the sand where I say, no, okay, I guess I'm a buyer then. I guess I'm not selling. Maybe this season, maybe there isn't going to be the bull market that I thought there would be in the weeks or months to come. But long term, I'm still as bullish as ever. So let's talk about it. So my name is Dwayne Cunningham. I go by Infidel 1258. And we cover Splinterlands every day, or blockchain-based video gaming, because it's changed my life and I really think it might change yours. And even though the prices are where they're at and my card collection continues to dwindle, my owned card assets are currently under $15,000. Let's see. Yeah, we're at $14,700 for owned card assets within Splinterlands specifically. I probably another 400 or 500 within Soulkeep. I have other cards in land that are not calculated within this total. I have a ton of SPS, all of which everything is going down. And yet, man, this game has changed my life already. I put $5,000 into it years ago and it's gotten to where it is now. And I really believe there's something special happening here. And so again, foundationally speaking, I'm not shaken, regardless of what the price chart might say. And so at what point do the red candles indicate you got to take a bite? I mean, I'm not sitting on a ton of liquid cash, but I have things that have gone up, and let's talk a little bit about that. Because from my perspective, and you might be in a different boat, but this channel is about my journey, my excitement, my passion, what I'm doing. This is a journal about what I'm up to within Splinterlands and blockchain. But more than that, you guys know that I'm interested in economics. I didn't come to cryptocurrency or to Splinterlands just in a vacuum. I came to it because I understood that assets that were limited in number and that had a degree of scarcity and demand, generally speaking, went up. As long as the demand stayed stagnant or grew, and as long as the fundamentals of the creation or the supply was limited due to some sort of, whether that's a program within the coin, like Bitcoin's only got 21 million, and the halving reduces the creation of it every 4 years, or whether you look at something like silver and gold, which is another thing I'm super into, and you look at the scarcity of silver, you look at the usefulness of silver, you look at the functionality and the desirability of silver, and man, the price, look at this on silver over the last 30 days, we're only up a penny over the last 30 days. Today alone, up 94 cents though. 6 months, we're up 28%. A year, 28%. Okay, so pretty stagnant in there. 5 years, 93%. And 20 years, 400%. That's because even though there's always more silver being made, just like there's always more Bitcoin being mined for the next 120 years or whatever, the idea is that the creation of the new silver is less than the demand for it. And I mean demand from a variety of reasons. One, there's functional demand. Like we use it in silver. We use it in solar panels. We use it in, actually, we use a lot of it in clothing. It's actually an antimicrobial. And so they put it in your sports shirts because it's supposed to fight the odor. And so there's a ton of different ways we use silver. And we actually don't have nearly enough to even just have an ongoing usage of those basic reasons. And yet the price hasn't gone up the way some people have long thought it would. And there's ways to understand the price point beyond just the US dollar comparison. You can look at things like the US dollar silver gold ratio, and gold is doing well as well. But when you look at the gold silver ratio, you get a better understanding of where silver is at with respect to gold, when those are both similar in nature in that they both have a certain amount of functionality. They're both desirable from an investment long-term hold, and there's a degree of scarcity that doesn't meet the demand. And so generally speaking, across time, they go up. And so they go up, generally speaking, in unison. Maybe gold goes first and silver lags in the same way that maybe Bitcoin leads the altcoins. But the silver gold ratio is this metric that some people use, and I like to look at, where we see how many ounces of silver would buy you a single gold ounce. And right now we're in that 77 ounces range. But historically speaking, if you were to scroll out and look back 100 years, and there are charts that'll find that. Let's see if I can get I can only go back a year to date or 6 months on this window. But there are measures that will track that back 100 years. And if you go back that far, you're going to see 20 to 1 is quite common. We see 40 to 1. We even see, I think, 7 to 1 during the silver bull market in the 80s. And so we're at significant highs in terms of gold's value compared to silver. And I bring this all up because it's, in my mind, directly connected to the idea of what I'm seeing within Splinterlands, what I'm seeing within SPS, and maybe with the broader crypto market with Bitcoin too. There are assets that I think are desirable because they have a certain scarcity and a certain demand. I think that demand might grow. I think the scarcity is going to be fixed, and that's going to be a problem that's going to create a price crunch. That's what I expect. And I think we're seeing within silver 400% in the last 20 years. I think 100% in the last 5 years. Those are huge gains on a coin that's been money for thousands of years. So do you see like the sort of the foundational security of holding a token like that, real world silver bullion? And then you go, but it's also appreciating wildly. And that to me is like the possible thing that we might be looking at with respect to Bitcoin, with respect to SPS. I think a lot of people aren't going to feel that. They're not going to agree to that. And I get you. This is not a sales pitch. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm telling you, I'm unpacking my clarity or my confidence with respect to moments like this. When we see Bitcoin down 5% on the day, breaking the 60,000 mark, we see the whole altcoin market just in a sea of red, and good coins are down 5-10%. And you go, I don't know, should I panic and sell? To me, moments like these are like the best times to buy. But that doesn't mean that tomorrow it's going to go up. There is no simple black and white, here's the recipe to make $1 million. If there was, we'd all be millionaires. But it's more of an approach that I'm unpacking. Things that are scarce, that are limited in number, or that their creation is fixed and is difficult to increase, or impossible. Bitcoin, you can't increase how much more is being produced. It's only going to be this rate of release, right, through mining. With silver, we could theoretically increase the amount of production of silver. Same with gold, but we could do so by opening new mines. And yet, many mines in the world won't be viable unless we see $50 or $100 price points on silver, and then you would see growth in silver. And so, as the price increases, the high price. You've heard people say high prices are the best cure to high prices. If silver price spikes to $100 a troy ounce, then more silver mines would open. There'd be more supply of silver, and then silver prices would come back down. That's supply demand dynamics within the real world, and I am excited by moments like this and observations like this within silver, because it points me back to what could be possible within certain crypto tokens. Again, if you always obviously believe the foundational strength of that thing. SPS, I believe in. Splinterlands, Steam Monsters, the company, I believe in them. And once you get to that place, which is its own conversation, you need to think thoroughly about their history, their reliability, their commitments, their successes, and even their failures, and then get to a place where you do or don't agree. But if you agree, then red candles are an opportunity. And if you agree, looking at opportunities like this, where you see green candles, and I, as a silver investor, have enjoyed this. When we look back at 5 years, I've been investing in silver since 2017 or 18. So, I mean, we're looking at 8 years now. Like, I've been enjoying this ride. I was buying some of my silver around $12 US an ounce. And now here we are at almost triple. And we were higher a few days ago. Like, if I zoom in on the last, no, I can't zoom in on this chart in that detailed fashion. If I come into 6 months, we were at $32 or just above it. But man, 30.50 is fine by me. So here's what I'm thinking, and I'll finish the video here. You might not be a silver investor. You might not be a gold investor. You might be in some sort of stock or equity that you've enjoyed, and the Dow Jones has done well. Some of the major, whether it's some of the major, there are certain equities that are just crushing and others that are getting nowhere. At some point, when would you move assets that have gone green into assets that you believe in that have gone red? Everyone is going to have a different situation with a different portfolio of assets that you would be willing to liquidate. But I'm saying, in moments like this, for me, that conversation is around silver. I have silver. I'm thinking about liquidating some. In fact, I'm going to liquidate some. This week, I'm going to sell some silver. And I'm going to use some of it for charity, actually. I'm participating in something called Ally Global Move for Freedom. And I'm actually running with a group of people, and we are going to, it's a charity fundraiser event to prevent human trafficking. And guys, it's so much crazier than that. It's human trafficking for children. So I'm going to drop the link in the description. If you're interested in donating to this amazing cause, do so. All of it's tax write-offable. Every penny goes to either saving these kids from the trauma and the tragedy that they're enduring, or then rehabilitating and redeeming their stories afterwards. Once they're rescued out of that horror, they're given new opportunities and new lives. So I'm actually selling some of my silver, long-term hold, because I see crazy green candles, and I'm going to put some of it into charity because I believe in what Ally Global is doing, and I see a green candle and I want to take advantage of it. But then simultaneously, as I turned on the computer today, I saw these red candles. I started going, at some point I got to become a buyer. I am not shaken. As I say to you about Splinterlands, do I believe that it's fun and it has a future? In some ways, that conversation applies to Bitcoin. Do I believe it has the future? XRP, do I still believe it has a future? Do I think the fundamentals of what I used to believe about these tokens has changed in a way where my previous thesis about its success and its candidacy for, greater gains has blown up? Or am I still confident? Because if I'm still confident, red candles are an opportunity. If I'm no longer confident, I need to adjust my portfolio accordingly. But for me, I have some green candles with something I super believe in long term, and I don't think silver is anywhere near a top. But that's neither here nor there. If you're enjoying green candles and you believe in other things too, maybe you make some moves. I don't know what your story would be, where your green candles are at, or if you even have any. But if you do, I'm always thinking now, how do I move into places that will long-term benefit me better? Whether it's my own portfolio or whether it's philanthropic opportunities that I really deeply believe in. And so for me, I'm liquidating some silver for both because I think there's room for both. And so I don't know what you guys think about this kind of thing. Are you guys interested in silver and gold? Because I'm big time, man. If you go way back, you'll see silver and gold like, I was covering several videos like back in the day, before I was trying to get 1,000 troy ounces of silver. And I still firmly believe, because fundamentally, I think the economy is broken fundamentally. And I think we are destined to something really negative with the economy blowing up because of what the governments have done in terms of printing debt, inflation, and hyperinflation, in fact. And I think we haven't scratched the surface on how bad that could be. And so something like gold and silver is part of my solution. Cryptocurrency is part of my solution. What's your solution? And if you've enjoyed those green candles, does it make sense to maybe what was that expression? take a couple licks of your ice cream, right? That's what it was, either Aftersound or Gathering the Magic that used to say that. But I love that, and that's where my head's at. So anyways, I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for your time and attention. I hope you have an amazing day. God bless.